The higher education sector in the country is set to undergo major reforms. Secretary of the Department, Professor David Kavanamur, says policies are being developed to support these reforms. The reforms also target private service providers. Miki Kavera reports.
Since taking office in 2012 as the Secretary for the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor David Kavanamur has worked tirelessly to reform and modernize the higher education sector. An audit undertaken in 2013 ranks Papua New Guinea's 6 universities below international standards.
Improve themselves at least to clock up to 50%. So that is a major task. And so the establishment of the Higher and Technical Education Board now will ensure that our universities progress towards those standards.
Reforms are now being undertaken to grow the higher education sector to be on par with global standards. Apart from improving the public service providers, focus is also on private service providers to ensure they are properly regulated.
It's nice to grow the sector. So whilst growing the sector, we also have the regulatory mechanism in place to ensure that those private service providers are properly established and that the programs they are offering are of high quality, that they meet the standards, as well as the institutional environment is supportive of attaining credibility in terms of the academic programs.
Professor Kavanamur says his department is facilitating the role of private service providers to grow. He says there is a strong business case for private service providers to set up in the country. They are currently in talks with the University of South Pacific and other universities in Australia and New Zealand.
We've streamlined the processes of registration through the regulations and the governance manual that goes together with the Education Act to ensure that it's easy to set up business here. But at the same time, if you're coming into the country, you know that you've got to measure up to global standards.
Miki Kavera, NBC National News, Port Moresby.